Hello everyone, this is Chris O'Hara and welcome to my studio here at Guitar Showcase. What I thought I would do today would give you a little bit of, show you my gear that I use, both for teaching and also what I would use on a gig. So I brought in a lot of my toys so you can check them out. So let's get started. Let me start with my guitar. This guitar was built by Mark Brown here in Campbell, California. He's an awesome builder, repair guy. He does everything. Definitely if you're in the area, go to him. He's the best guy around in my opinion. This guitar, it's just, I told him, I said, I want a straight up Tele, give me nothing extra, nothing. I just want a good sounding Tele, and he delivered, and everything on this guitar sounds amazing. It sustains forever. It's just incredible. He put the Fralin Blue Special in this guitar, and I think they sound great. Perfect match for it. And yeah, everything down to the pots and everything, they're just very smooth and they work really well. So anyway, I can't say enough good things. He's done all the work on all my guitars, whether refretting, adjustments, setups, you name it. He's the guy I go to. So next guitar is my John Suhr guitar, and it's a really nice versatile guitar. It's kind of the it kind of does everything. It's got the humbucker and the bridge position. This is great to get some rock tones, and as well as getting this nice clean strat sounds out of this guitar. As you can tell, it's a maple neck, maple bird's eye. It's a really fat neck, but it sounds bright but thick as well. And I like this guitar. I need to have Mark refret this one, I think, pretty soon. But I do like that guitar. Next up is my 335, just kind of standard, nothing special about it. I just changed the knobs because I didn't like, it's got better grip on these type of knobs. I did change the pickups to a Lawler. I think it's just whatever his standard humbucking pickups are. Sound great. Got a nice, I like these better than what was in here because they're a little bit more open, a little more clarity out of these. And so I like it. It's great for like a lot of jazz stuff, blues, that kind of thing. And the neck, I love the neck on it. It plays like butter. Next up is my Nash Guitar, and it's just your standard Stratocaster, nothing special. I do like the fact that there's no lacquer on it. It's very smooth back here, and the neck feels great. It doesn't, something about, I think when they got rid of the lacquer, it changed the shape of the neck a little bit, and it just fits my hands really well. And yeah, it's a great guitar, nothing special. Lawler pickups in this thing. Nothing special about this back pickup, I just forgot to put the cap on. Mark refretted this, so it plays amazing, okay? So I do have other guitars. I have a nice Tom Anderson hollow Cobra at home that I don't have, unfortunately, here. It's a beautiful, beautiful guitar as well. I have an early 50s Martin that I inherited from my grandfather. It's a very nice acoustic guitar, a little, almost kind of like a parlor type guitar. I have an old early 80s George Benson for that real traditional jazz sound. And what else? Is that it? I think that's about all my guitars. So let's get into the effects, okay? First up is the Wah. And this is by Custom Audio, and Custom Audio or T.C.electronics, I don't know. It's one of those brands. Anyway, I think Dunlop owns this one. I think it's distributed by Dunlop, and it's a great sounding wah. It's very smooth. Price is reasonable, right in that 150 ballpark range, and it's like two wahs in one. He said right now I have it set up for a very traditional kind of almost like a crybaby, but smoother, a little smoother. Very smooth and very responsive. It has a nice gradient from the low to the high part of it. If I click on this button on the side, I get a little bit deeper kind of wah setting, and it's actually very usable. I like it. It's just a deeper. That kind of effect. So you can, it's just, I think it sounds great. It's just another usable sound out of that pedal. Then what I have going next is I go into these distortion pedals. I have a couple Wamplers. One is a Sauvignon Blanc. I don't know what it's called, Sauvignon or something like that. And it's just basically like a 80s type Marshall JCM 800 sound, at least in my ears. So here's what it sounds like. You you get all the kind of tones out of this pedal. I just kind of use it for basically, yeah, getting those traditional 80s sound. I grew up in the 80s. I got to have an 80s pedal, right? Next up is a Wampler Ecstasy. It's just basically like an overdrive pedal, and I like it. It's for a pedal, it's one of my favorites. I always have a hard time with overdrive pedals because this is not like a real amp, right? It just doesn't have that thickness to me, especially when you're playing on the bridge pickup. But this one's pretty good. I like it. I kind of have it set for medium. It's kind of like a tube screamer. Right? A lot of people say it's like a Dumble. This is his kind of Dumble version. I've read in a couple forums, but I don't know. I don't really hear it as a Dumble. More like a tube screamer, in my opinion. That typical kind of light crunchy sound. It's great because you can roll it off. It does clean up nicely. So anyway, that's that one. Then I'm going into my auto filter. This one I really like, and sounds like this. Wow, wow. Anyway, I like that. It gives you another kind of wah effect, and sometimes I use the reversed envelope like this. It gets kind of bright, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. You can even add a little distortion. Yeah, I get some weird effects with that. I mostly use it with the cleaner sound. Next up is the tremolo by, what was it by? It's by Rocket Pedals. And this is the Josh Smith tremolo. And I really like it. It's very smooth. And it has two tremolos in one. I click over. That's the fast. Here's the slow. And it has a boost in there, so sometimes tremolos drop in volume when you engage them. This one you can compensate for that by turning up the boost, so that's what I like about that pedal. Next is the Dunlop volume pedal. I love this pedal because it's very smooth and it has a nice gradient from soft to loud. And what I like about it, sometimes when I turn on a distortion pedal and I want to adjust the volume, because this pedal is set up after the distortion pedal, and when I have volume pedals like that and the distortion is on and I try to adjust the volume, it doesn't always, it's very sensitive, so just a small amount of movement, all of a sudden you get a huge increase in sound. So when I do like theater type gigs, I like to have that control because I need to be right at a good volume level with the orchestra. I can't be too loud, and my foot is on this like almost all the time to adjust it if I have to use that sound and be right with the orchestra. So that's why I like that volume pedal. So the next pedal I have is the Mojo Vibe after the volume pedal, and it's just kind of like a Hendrix in a box. Sounds good for like all that Hendrix stuff. I even like it for like some rhythm playing, so something like this. Even some single note stuff. So anyway, I really like that Mojo Vibe. It just adds that mojo. You got to buy it just for the name, right? All right, so next up after the Mojo Vibe, I go into this EP booster, which is basically just a simple booster, but it's, I guess, designed or comes from the same circuit of a Echoplex. Don't know, I've never played through an Echoplex. I guess they're the Mojo, so, but not as Mojo as the Mojo Vibe. I like it because it just kind of adds some more clarity, kind of brings back some of the signal that I lose from having to go through all these different pedals. And I generally leave it on all the time. Sometimes if I leave it on and I use the wah, the wah sometimes distorts that pedal. So I may turn it off if I'm using the wah. It's a nice little pedal. Next up is a Flashback. This is my delay pedal. Lots of uses with this. I like it because it has a small footprint, but lots of parameters, and I can adjust it easily on the fly. That's what I love about pedals. When I'm playing live, I want to be able to kind of grab them and adjust them while I'm playing, something easy versus some sort of rack mount. So this pedal allows me to do that. I have it set up for the modulation right now. And so I use that. Sometimes I'll just use a simple digital delay for some stuff. Change maybe the feedback a little bit, a little distortion. So sometimes I'll use a sound like that, which I like. Okay. What else? Oh, going into probably one of my favorite pedals, which is the Roto Sphere. The only thing I don't like about it, it's gigantic, it's ginormous, and I don't, I used to have it on my pedal board, but it's so big, I need sometimes those other effects, and it gets kind of left at home, and I feel bad that I have to leave it at home because it's such a nice pedal. Here's what it sounds like. It's a little noisy because it has a tube in there and some of the gain, the way the gain structures are in the pedal, but if you set it just right, you can get it nicely balanced and the noise gets not really heard, especially in a live situation. So anyway, I really like that pedal. I need to start bringing it out on some gigs some more. So next up is just the Boomerang, just a simple loop thing here. And I mostly use it for teaching, but occasionally I use it out on the gig. I got it not too long ago, so I'm still kind of learning how to use it and setting up the loops and everything. So sometimes I'll just set up simple loops, something like this. Anyway, something like that. I kind of play around with that. What else do I have? I have over here a Nova system, and I use that mostly for rehearsal gigs. The only thing I don't like about it is you kind of lose a lot of tone when you have it in the system. So it's okay. It's a good board. It's called, like I said, it's one of these kind of grab and go boards. You can go to rehearsal, and it's very small, compact, and you have a lot of effects built into it. I like it because sometimes I use it because it has a pitch shifting on it. So sometimes I'll do an octave above or an octave below, which I kind of like that effect. And yeah, so I kind of like that. The MIDI mouse controls the patches on there that for this thing. And then I have a Nova Reverb, which is this guy right over here, and that I used to use it more. It's sometimes if I just do a jazz gig and I just want a nice reverb sound, I'll just grab a guitar and that, and I'm pretty much good to go. I usually will take maybe a volume pedal with me and that reverb, and that's pretty much it. Let me talk a little bit about picks. I'm very picky about picks. So what I've been using lately is a lot of the different types of V picks. I really like the material that they use. It seems to stay in my hand. I've been using these kind of textured edges that are actually kind of cool. It just adds a little bit of this almost kind of a scrapey sound that sounds good on distortion. It seems to bring out some, I don't know, something out of the distortion that I don't always get from other picks. I also use Red Bear picks. They're really nice. They're expensive, but they do sound good. The only thing I don't like is they take forever to get. The guy who makes these, I don't think he's a good businessman. So demand, if you got a lot of people want them, expand, right? Any rate, but I do like those picks. I like the V picks. Any other picks I like? These JB picks. I don't know if this guy's still in business. Maybe he is. I think he is, yeah. And they're pretty good. They're kind of pricey too as well. So I like the V picks, and I also like the Red Bear picks. As far as cables, I've used George L's for a while, but I don't really like them because I take my pedals off and on, and the connections come loose. So I just ordered some Switchcrafts and some Mogami cables that I'm going to solder and make kind of re-cable my whole board. So it'll be much nicer, much tighter, and I won't get any of those issues, interference. Car amp, love the amp, used it for years. I have a few other little pedals here. I used to use this, which is a Scott Henderson kind of volume thing that you're supposed to use with your foot. I don't like it. It changes the tone. I can't, for Scott Henderson, who's a tone kind of guru, I'm surprised he uses it because I can't, it always affects the tone. I don't like the way it sounds. So anyway, I kind of put that aside. Trifecta by Barber. I like Barber because his pedals are reasonably priced and they're great pedals. This is a fuzz. It's like a couple fuzzes in one. I really like this one for that type of sound. Have a modified blues driver. Don't use as much. It's kind of bright and brittle for my ears. Here's another Barber pedal, which is the, what is this? The LTD. It's good. It's like a great tube screamer is the way I look at it. Very versatile. It's got some trim pots inside you can adjust. This is a pedal I made from Build Your Own Clone, which is a phaser. I didn't do quite a good job on it. Something's not quite right. The phase is very subtle, so I'm not an engineer, but it was kind of a fun project to build. Strings. I've been using, what have I been using? I've been using these lately, these Slinky Cobalts ones. I've been using Diodarios for a long time, but these are also good. So, and that's about it. What else? Lots of stuff. Yeah, that's about it. There you go. My studio. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.